Hi, good afternoon. Today we are here at the Ortiz Insurance Agency here with Mr. Marco Ortiz.
Hello.
Good afternoon, guys. This is a instructional video, not instructional video. This is a informational video about our agency. We are a full service agency that specializes in insurance, tax preparation,
vehicle registration.
Vehicle registration, very important. And since we are in the final stretch of tax season, we have some very, very important information to share with you guys regarding taxes. Marco.
Yeah, so again, I just want to reiterate again that we are a full service agency, financial services, and we specialize in insurance, home, auto, business, bonds. We do bonds. And so for all your insurance needs, Ortiz Insurance Agency is definitely the place to come. Also, we have a 23-year practice of income tax preparation, including corporations. So not just the 1040 individuals, but also the corporations. And we started doing registrations.
Yes.
So now we're as of December of last year, we're doing the
renewal of your tag renewal, change of ownership when you buy a car and you need to put it under your name. Come and see us. Our goal is to give you the best customer service so you can do it in literally 5-10 minutes here at our office instead of having to spend most of your day at the DMV offices. So please give us a chance. We'll be more than happy to assist you.
Yeah, and the way we're doing it actually is people can either email us a copy of the renewal or the title, and text it also if that's something we can do. And then we'll literally, like you said, we'll have everything ready by the time they come. We'll have everything ready. So anyway, but today we're going to be focusing on taxes since again it's kind of the stretch. We're already ending. April 15th would be the due date, and so we're going to be talking about that today.
Exactly. So Marco, what would be the very first thing to recommend people that have not done their taxes yet?
Well, the first thing is that April 15th is the due date. So I know sometimes people think that they can't kind of combine next year with this year, and so that therefore they can just wait until next year. That is definitely a myth. You're not supposed to do that. As a matter of fact, there are consequences. You can potentially have additional fees.
Yes.
So it's important to realize that January 15th is when it opens and April 15th is when it closes. And of course, we're always doing the year past. So right now we're in 2019, but we're doing 2018 taxes. So you have until April 15th, 2019 to turn in your 2018 taxes. So very, very important.
Okay, so you covered when is the tax due date. I guess it's April 15 is the tax deadline every single year. Now, is there a difference? This is something that comes up a lot. Is there a difference between an individual tax and a company tax? Do they get prepared differently?
Yeah, so what I like to cover in that is that all individuals will do what is called a 1040. So the 1040 is basically your individual income tax preparation form. That is for the IRS. And then for the state of California, it's the 540. So those are your individuals. Now, within that, there are different, there is the 1040 EZ, which is basically your, single person with one job. And then we have also the persons with potential rental properties, right, maybe self-employed, or maybe a combination of employment and self-employment. So those are people that are now going into the itemized forms, which is basically known in the industry as a long form. But, the main difference between, again, companies and individuals is that the 1040 is for individuals, and then the 1120 would be for companies known as corporations, whether limited liability corporations or just corporations like the C or S. Again, I don't want to get into the main details, but 1040 for individuals, 1120 for corporations.
Excellent. And now, is there, I know that some people say, well, my taxes are easy. I know there's a short form and a long form. So can you cover what the
the 1040 easy, as I was talking about a little bit ago, it's basically your single, maybe I don't know, 25-year-old, maybe out of college and first job and literally just one job. And so has no dependents, no nothing. It's just one single job. That would be your easy. That's the simple one.
Well, for you, everything is easy.
Well, yeah, with 23 years of experience, people ask me, well, is my taxes really, difficult? And I'm like, with 23 years of experience, it really isn't. I mean, to me, it's easy. But in terms of what the industry calls easy forms and long forms and, other forms, the easy would be the one with one single employment and no dependents, no nothing. That would be the simple. Now, the other ones, as I was talking about a little bit ago, it's, people that maybe have, interest from
Several
investments, retirement, Social Security, rental property, self-employment. I mean, the list can go on and on and on.
Exactly. It's different sources of income that they have to incorporate into.
Yeah, and and that also tags into how much we charge. I mean, sometimes people call me and they say, "Hey, well, how much you charge?" And I mean, I'm talking about I don't even know. This is over the phone. I don't even know what we're going to be doing. So it's difficult. I mean, I have to see what I'm going to do because we don't charge on on the basis of how difficult. Because as I was saying, to me, it's simple. Right. 23 years later, it's really simple. I can do it with my eyes closed. So it's not a matter of being easy or difficult. It's a matter of how much work, because none of us charge being on how difficult or easy it is. We charge on the knowledge that we have, and that knowledge, sometimes it's just knowing where the right button is, and so the price will really depend on how easy. But easy is just single job, single person.
So we take it case by case, and we will let you know upfront how much you're looking at to prepare your taxes. So
absolutely.
No surprises here.
Absolutely. Not only that, but we're always willing, to give you a discount, especially if you bring us your family, your friends. If you promote Ortiz Insurance Agency, if you put like on this video and you share it with your friends, right? We will be able to tell if you share it or not, if you subscribed, of course. And hey, we'll give you discounts for all that because now you're part of, of the Ortiz Insurance Agency family.
That's right.
I like that.
So I know that not all preparers are the same. Some people say, well, I went to this other person that I got recommended and I got this whole lot of money back. And so I think people have a misconception thinking that one preparer has more control over others or they're all, the same. How can you describe the difference between a preparer and a tax professional?
Well, I like to start by this. All tax preparers have the same formulas. None of us have a better formula or the secret formula. The IRS gives us all the same formulas. And of course, the software may be different, but at the end of the day, the calculation should be done to the penny. Now, here is where the difference is. You can go to a tax preparer that potentially may be doing illegal stuff, maybe adding deductions that you don't even have. I mean, I had a case where the person, 65-year-old, and had over almost $100,000 of student, expenses. And I asked them, hey, so last year you went to school, huh? Were you at Harvard or something, 100,000? He's like, no, I've never been to school for the past 40, since I graduated. I'm like, well, last year they claimed, the person that did the taxes, that you had almost $100,000 in the student expenses. So I think the difference, and again, that was the case. Actually, those people ended up in jail. Not the person. The client ended up paying like $10,000 back because he did get money that wasn't supposed to, and the preparers ended up in jail. And of course, their practice and licenses were canceled. Here is what you have to look out for. You have to look out for a preparer that, first of all, is licensed, that is registered with the IRS, that you can literally go to the IRS website and find them. In California, we also have the ECTE registration, so you can know that we are registered, that we're professionals that are listed in the different websites of California and the IRS. The second thing I would do is that is your tax preparer giving you the time, the service to explain to you, to go over the different areas of concern, not only of your own concern, but areas of concern in tax, in terms of tax reform with all the changes that have been done. So is this a person that is saying, hey, let's do this, let's examine your situation? Or is this a person that says, drop off all your papers and just come and pick them up, and you have no idea, no clue what they did, and they're just asking you to sign? I would be kind of iffy on those, but if they're here...
Come and sign and pay and leave my office.
Yeah, as you know, Ed, been working with me for a while now. You know that we take the time to explain. The first thing we do when people come in is they fill out a little interview form. It's a basic form that allows them to know already some of the areas of concern, not only potentially to them but to the IRS. Areas that would allow us, for example, to know if they have child care expenses, which a lot of people miss, educational expenses for their teenage or young adults in college. Sometimes they miss those. So again, it's really a matter of interviewing your tax preparer and finding out if they're a professional or if this is just a person that decided to do taxes and is making money off of you, and they have somewhat of clue what they're doing.
Now, Marco, you brought up changes in the tax reform. I guess it's the way it's called. Is there any important changes that people have to look out for this year?
Primarily two. There are two primary changes. The first major change was the standard deduction. It was actually doubled. So in just to kind of explain, the standard deduction is basically the baseline that you get of deductions such as homeowners, work-related expenses, child care expenses, registration of your vehicle expenses, and any other area that is allowed by the IRS to be deducted, either itemized or otherwise. But again, the standard deduction is your base. And so in the past, for as long as I remember, $12,000 was for married jointly, $6,000 for singles and or married filing separately, and $9,000 for head of households. Well, this year is double. So it's really, really good. Now we're talking about $24,000 for married jointly, $12,000 for singles, and $18,000 for head of household. So what that means is that you don't have to worry about all your receipts. You kind of have to do just a basic calculation in your head and say, okay, if I am married jointly, did we have more than $24,000 of expenses? If the answer kind of is like, no way, like we didn't have medical bills, we didn't really have a home, then you guess what? You don't really worry about it. You don't have to be collecting receipts or anything. You can just literally get your major forms, the 1098s for your home, the 1099s for either interest or self-employment, and any other form. And that's really all you need. You wouldn't have to be worrying about collecting receipts and stuff like that.
Now, something that is very, I would say, in my opinion, misunderstood by a lot of our clients is credits. Some people compare to themselves to their neighbors or their friends saying, oh, I got this much money back and I'm not. So what are credits and how do they work?
Well, we hit that all the time, right? It's like, hey, I went to so-and-so place and they gave me double or whatever that is. Credits are pretty straightforward, standardized, so there is no way that anybody can have a better credit than another preparer. We all have the same formulas. Again, a lot of it is in the background, what deductions are they adding, that you may not qualify for, and they're adding it. But let's just talk about credits. So credits, the most important credit that most low to medium income people receive, it's called the Earned Income Tax Credit. That credit has a couple of variations, and I'll just talk about the general concept of it. So the first thing that they have to do is be making between $6,000 and $48,000. For the most part, that's the income level. $6,000 as a minimum, $48,000 as a maximum. Again, it varies a little bit on family households, but that's just kind of the standard. Now, what happens is all of the family members must be legal residents or U.S. citizens. They all, of course, have to have a Social Security. And then the children must be in the United States between the age of 0. So newborn, they must be born 0 to 18. And then 19 to 23 in college. They do have to provide proof that they are in the United States. And typically it's just basically your school report card, your medical records, that type of deal. Because, if they're U.S. citizens, of course they're going to have a birth certificate, but that doesn't mean they're in the U.S. So in order for you to claim that credit, you must be in the United States. So that credit, again, has variations. Now, here's the important thing to know. No, you cannot really compare yourself to your neighbor or anybody else, because what it is, even if they are kind of the same family size, right? You're like, hey, my neighbor is also, 2 kids and wife and myself. So we're 4. And they got this much money and I got this much money. Well, there's so many variations. You couldn't really compare. First of all, what is their income level? Is it the same? Probably not. Now, what are their deductions at work? Did they fill out the W-4 with the same amount of deductions as, the allowances as you did? Maybe not. Are they having special deductions such as student expenses, for college? So there's so many variations. You couldn't really compare yourself. What I would recommend is openly ask your preparer, hey, what is my bracket level for the earned income tax credit, which is the biggest dollar per dollar credit, and they should be able to tell you. Now, the second credit, which was actually double as well, is the child tax credit. It used to be always $1,000, now it's $2,000. And by the way, both credits, the earned income tax credit and the child tax credit, are only for 2. So if you have 5 children, congratulations, you have a lot of children, but you would only get it for 2. Okay, so now you would still get other deductions for the additional members of the family, but at the end of the day, the credits are only for a maximum of 2.
Right.
Okay, so the child tax credit, however, it is not a dollar per dollar credit. What that basically does is a reduction credit. So again, it's $2,000. Let's just hypothetically say you only have 1 child, and let's just say that you were going to pay $2,000. Well, with the child tax credit, what it'll do, it'll basically zero it out. But now let's just say that you were supposed to get a refund of $2,000. Oh, but by the way, you have a child, right? So that's $2,000. You are not going to get $4,000. You would simply just get your $2,000, because again, it's a reduction. Since you didn't need a reduction because you were supposed to get money, right, then you basically don't get anything.
Excellent. These are very common questions that we hear every single time. Well, Marco does. He is the one that does give you that personalized attention. So these are based, this chat we're having with you guys today is based on very, very common misconceptions sometimes, and questions that we hear every single day. So this is the type of service that you will get here if you give us the chance to assist you. You will not be disappointed, and I'm sure that you will be coming back year after year like most of our clients do.
And there is never a fee for consultations.
Exactly.
All consultations are free. The only thing I don't do is some people sometimes say, can you give me, an estimate? Well, I will give you a visual estimate. If you bring me last year's taxes and all of your forms, because of the 23 years of experience I have, I'm more or less able to tell you if you're going to be within the same parameters or less or more, right? But I am not going to be going into my system and adding all the information and giving you the number, because guess what? That's doing the taxes.
Exactly.
So I'm not going to do that, right? But I will definitely try to just ballpark based on your information. Now, if you don't bring me your tax, forms from the prior year and other forms for this year, then I will not be able to tell you anything. But in fact, to be able to give you an estimate, we're supposed to actually start inputting everything in the computer, which is basically doing it.
Exactly. So please give us a call. Our number is on screen, 619-264-6444. We are open every single day from 9 in the morning to 6 in the afternoon, Saturdays by appointment. We're always happy to assist you. There's always somebody answering the phone. And if by any chance we miss your phone call, leave us a message and we'll get back to you right away. And we'll be more than happy to see you here in our office.
Yeah, please visit our website at theortizinsuranceagency.com, the ortizinsuranceagency.com. It's got a lot more information. It's got links to the IRS website that talks about the credits and deductions and such. So it's a really good source already of information, the ortizinsuranceagency.com. And if you like to email us questions, also you can do it through the website, or you can do it directly to the tax email, which is taxes92114@att.net. So the word taxes and then 92114, like the zip code, at att.net. If you can email me your questions, I'll also love to answer those and then get you some help.
Excellent. Anything else that we want to add today?
No, just thank you so much for sticking with us for this past 5-10 minutes, whatever that was. And also for those that have been with us for years and years and years, thank you so much. We're yet to bring you way more information for free, and we'd love to help you.
Stay tuned. More videos like this coming up. And please, if you like what you are seeing and listening here, do share it. And we would love to hear from you and from everybody else that you think may benefit from this information. God bless. Thank you very much.
As a matter of fact, let me just throw something in.
Go ahead.
I just thought about it.
Yes.
Anybody that is new to our agency for tax preparation if they just mention that they saw this video, they liked it, and they subscribed to it, we'll give them a 30% discount.
Right. And a lollipop. We have lollipops.
Yes. And a pen.
And a pen.
All right. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you very much. God bless. And see you here. Give us a call.